As much as we love a system, we love to put a system in place. We have to be prepared for that. Some like my system was I would get a nanny every summer, right? That was my system. That was, listen, sometimes the system doesn't work the way you want it to. And sometimes you have to pivot and you have to readjust. That is what we talk about all the time is like recalibrating, readjusting, working through like having a plan, having a good system, but then also knowing that there are life is life. And one thing that's consistent with parenting is that it's inconsistent. Hi, I'm Cheryl Medeiros. And I'm Colleen Hungerford. And this is the Inspire Her Collective podcast and community for the whole woman, mind, body, soul, and business.
It's humor infused, as real as it gets, inspiring, and you'll walk away with real, usable tools for life and business.
If you love what you're hearing, please share with a friend, subscribe so you never miss an episode, and rate and review wherever you listen.
And if you find yourself wanting more inspiration and authenticity, visit our website to learn how to join our nationwide community. Let's dig in.
Meh. Hello, Herd.
Oh my
Welcome to the
God.
InspireHER Collective podcast and
I-
community.
Should we change our logo to like, it should be a sheep because we don't want anybody
Meh.
to be sheep. But like, what would it be?
No,
Goats?
we
It
want to
should
be
be goats,
goats.
right?
We want to be goats
Yeah,
because
it
we
definitely should
climb
be goats.
shit, we fuck shit up, we eat
Yeah.
everything.
We don't take no shit from nobody. Like,
No.
that's that's what goats do. Okay, hi, how's it
Quarantine,
going?
just thriving with back to school.
Okay, let's talk about back to school because this is a whole new reset. You and I both, you particularly, had a very rough summer. I also did not have a very easy summer. Two separate, different, we don't compare, but objectively yours was harder. Uh,
There's room for everybody's
But,
shit in the
but
toilet.
I can, yeah, God.
In in
Um,
the in the pasture, there's room for all the goats shit.
all the goats, all the herds, shit is all, it can be there. Okay, anyway, that analogy.
Off the
But
rails.
anyway,
Off the
we're
rails.
everybody's kids are back to school. And that for me was a relief. I went to a lot like the back to school coffees and things like that. And it was really funny. Everybody's like, "How was your summer?" And they were like, I was like, "It was long." And everybody was like, "Oh, it was so short for me." Blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Real talk, this summer was very long for me. Like, I love my children so much, but it was really challenging and I traveled a lot and that was great. I loved that, but also I needed them to be back in school. Like I needed them to be back in school.
Okay, let's reframe this. It's really not about the kids so much as it is the routine and the
Mm.
structure and the childcare, to be quite
This is the
frank.
childcare. It's the childcare.
It's the childcare, but more than that, because I had some childcare, it's the routine, it is the structure, it is the ability to look at your calendar and know that on Wednesday at 2 o'clock you can take a meeting because you know where your children will be and you know what the situation is going to be most of the time, pending a sick day. So
Right.
it's
But you
the
know what's
routine, it's the
funny?
structure, it's the reliability.
The
That's
beginning of
what
the
it
summer,
is.
you go back to our podcast, and I was like, "Oh, I love summer. This is great. This is so great."
Okay, well there are
Shit
things
changes. It's a great, great
there,
thing. Like shit
but I
changes.
bet the things you love about summer, you still love. You still love.
Hmm.
It's the things that you don't love about summer that got on you. But like, do you love a slow morning with your coffee and don't have to
Yeah.
run out the house and be
Yes.
anywhere? Who doesn't?
Yes. Love that.
Who doesn't love that?
You
Do
know what it was?
you
And
not
here's
love not being able to schedule a meeting or like jump when you need to jump or like dive into deep work because there's humans all around you all the time? Yeah, I don't like that any day,
here's
not just during summer.
yeah. Here's the reality of it. As much as we love a system, we love to put a system in place. We have to be prepared for that. Some like my system was I would get a nanny every summer, right? That was my system. That was, listen, sometimes the system doesn't work the way you want it to. And sometimes you have to pivot and you have to readjust. That is what we talk about all the time is like recalibrating, readjusting, working through like having a plan, having a good system, but then also knowing that there are, life is life. And one thing that's consistent with parenting is that it's inconsistent. Like shit changes all the time. The kids change, their feet grow. I'm constantly, I think I bought 17 pairs of shoes this summer for my three children because Vivian went from the beginning of the summer, I'm not kidding, from a size six, six and a half to now she wears an eight in a 3 month period. And so we've had to buy her like a huge, same with the boys, right? And that's just an example, but like it just is wild. So anyway, we are going to talk about, if my computer doesn't die, which I'm looking for the plug right now, we are going to talk about how to reset
So
when
we're going
like
to
we have
dive
these
back
big.
in, recommit,
Hmm.
but with intention. So
Yes.
we are not just going to send the kids back to school, or I want this to be not just a timely episode for August, September. What I want from what we're going to go through today to be is actually like anytime, like life will throw you a season
Yep.
anytime. And
Yeah.
when that season's over, tell me, do you feel this also? Like it's kind of hard to like get back into the momentum of things. Like it's like kids are back to school or like you're back from vacation or you're back from caring
Hmm.
for elderly parent or whatever it might be and it's time to jump back in and like mm, mm. Like
Hmm.
does anybody ever feel like they
Hmm.
get kind of like a false start? They're like Monday's going to be it. I'm jumping back in. I'm doing it. I'm doing the things, going back to normal and then like but maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay, Wednesday. I'm definitely going to do it on Wednesday. For whatever reason, Wednesday's the start date. Uh, Like, it's like false starts. It can be really hard to get back in the groove, back in the momentum, and just
Hmm.
pick up where you left off. But maybe that's because we shouldn't ever just pick up where we left off. Maybe we need to reflect and take some time to like consider how we want
Yeah.
this next season of life to be because we're not the same person we were 3 months ago. So I always got this perspective. So I think time away from work or reduced amount of time at work can be a really good opportunity for perspective. And what really makes me think about this is every time I took a leave of absence from my previous career in commercial insurance for, I had three babies, I went out on a disability leave. It was different. I didn't run my own business, but it was kind of like running a franchise with how our business was built. And every time I came back, my perspective shifted about how I could bring more value or different value to my clients. And I think
Hmm.
that anytime that you step away or step slightly back, it's a good opportunity for perspective. And so when we talk about diving
Yeah.
back in with intention, that's really what I want the conversation to be. I don't want the conversation to be like before summer I was doing 17 calls and I would jump at whenever my phone rang and I checked my email 17,000 times a day and this is how I was doing my business. No. That might work for you still and if it does great if
Hmm.
that's the intention that you want to set, but if it's not, I really want to encourage people to like use any step back or any slowdown as an opportunity to reset your intention on how you want your business to look moving forward.
Yeah, I saw a quote the other day, and this applies to real estate, but I think it applies to this situation too. Like, you'll know what I mean by say it, but it was said like every bad quote unquote bad client or difficult client like gives you an opportunity to see where the like holes are in your systems or what you could improve on or where things are. And I think that in this case is like we're not talking about like you've taken a break because something bad has happened. But when you've taken a break there or you've stepped back or you're in a season where you're needed more in another place than you are in your business, there is an opportunity to look at, okay, you know, how do I create better systems and processes for my business that allows me to do this so that it's not a strain or a challenge on me as well as my business and what we're doing and where, and to your point, like where are we right now? Like this is something that is really real for me right now as I'm having this like, we talked about it before, but this realization that my kids are, it was easier for me to step away from my kids and my business when they were younger. It is harder in this season of life of them being 12, 10, and 8, particularly my older two right now. You would think they would need me less. They need me more right now. And I want to be there more right now. And so you know, but then how do I, how do we create the life? I think when it, for me, it always comes down to how do I create the life that I want to live, right? And in these situations, there's not a lot I can't control my kids and what they need right now. They need me in, and that's where I want to be. So how do I control the things in my business? How do I reset? How do I reflect on what I've been doing for the past 5 years, 4 or 5 years in this business to what this season of my business and my kids need right now? Because that's why I do this job, right? Otherwise, or why I have my own businesses, because otherwise I would, I don't know, go get a corporate job or something like that, because then somebody else dictates what I can do.
Right. Like we need control. We want control. It's what drove us to this. Like it, it's what made us take the risk.
Hmm.
Because let's be fair, like owning your own business, whatever you're doing, is a risk. There is no one to catch you if you fall. There
Hmm.
is not like the manager and the owner and everybody above you that's going to make sure you still get your paycheck every week. Like that is not what comes
No.
with being an entrepreneur. And so what makes the risk worth it is the control we allegedly
Hmm.
have over our life.
Hmm.
And if you are not careful, your business will control you instead of the
Yeah.
other way around. I remember this saying they always said in the insurance job of you need to run your territory or your territory will run you. And, for me, I had a 3 hour span from the north to the south of my territory, and all those clients and all those prospects were mine in between. And like, if I wasn't careful, Bob's going to say they need me on Wednesday, and Sue's going to say she needs me on Wednesday, and I need to be on opposite ends of my territory in that given day. And that's just not effective or useful or efficient or any of the things. And so, I was fortunate to learn like you do have to say to the client, I'm available. Da, 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 da. And that's
Yeah.
something I've
Yeah.
carried forward into setting boundaries in my business. But it's very easy to jump when you're in
Hmm.
control of your schedule, because with the control comes the fear for where the next check is coming from, where the next
Correct.
payout's coming
Correct.
from. Okay,
Correct.
so what I'm hoping to do
Okay.
today is I have like several tangible kind of exercises that I want everybody to work on. I want you all, this is your homework. No, I'm just kidding. It's your life. You do what you want. But I want to introduce these concepts to us today. And then over the next couple of weeks, Colleen and I will dive further into each of them and kind of work through them together. But the goal today is to just give you the high level overview. So,
Hmm.
number one thing, when you are diving back in with intention, did I just coin that? Is that what we decided we're going to call this? Dive back in with
Yeah. Let's
intention?
just do it. Let's call it that. I like
sounds
it.
sounds great. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Like a what's we're branding as we go here, you guys, but like it's a
Recommit
refresh, it's a
with
redive.
intention.
Yeah, but I
Recommit.
want something
Re.
more
What are
alliteration. I don't
we? Okay.
know.
Tell us what
Diving back
you
in
guys
with
tell us what we
intention.
need.
Yeah,
Susie will have
tell
something good.
us. Yes, I'm sure she will. Okay, so number
Okay.
one, we're going to refresh your why. Okay, so we
Oh, okay. I like
all
it.
have done this at one point throughout our life where we sit down and we're like, what is my why? My why is because I want to be able to
Hmm.
work in my kids' classrooms. I want
Hmm.
to make $1 zillion. I want my name known by everybody in the land. This is my
Yeah.
why. Whatever your why might be. We've all done it. But the thing is, me 3 months ago and me today are different people. Me 3 years ago and me today are different people. We've
Hmm.
had different life experiences. We're in a different place. So take the time to refresh your why. So, why am I in this business? Why does this work matter to me? What am I trying to create through this business? What does success actually need to provide for my life? In my
Yeah.
current definition, is my current definition of success still my current definition of success? Is my definition of success the dollars that are on my 1099 that I get from, my brokerage at the end of the year? Or is my definition of success being in the pickup line at 2:45 every day?
Yeah.
What
Or
is
both.
it?
And I think this is interesting because I think this is something that you have to revisit. You don't have to do anything. We would
You
recommend
can. We
you
recommend.
revisit. And I talked about this recently. Maybe we talked about this before, but like my why I worked so hard always was that I had this very clear vision of like when Vivian went to college, I wanted to be able to come to her no matter where she was. Like, this was always the thing that's always in the front of my mind. Like, this is why I work so hard. If she said, Mom, I need you to come this weekend, I need help, I need you, I just want to see you, can you come hang out, whatever it is, that I could drop everything and go. And I could go with no thought about finances, no thought about my business, no, nothing, right? Like, I could just go. And I can do that now. Like, that is something that I can do now with the team that I have and the business that I built. I could do that, right? That wasn't something I could do 4 years ago, likely, right? Without a lot of stuff. So I realized I was feeling a bit stuck in my business because that goal, if you will, had been achieved. And I am like such a like goal oriented person that I need something to work towards, right? Like, I need some sort of purpose for what I'm doing. And I realized that I needed to reevaluate, like, okay, great, we did that. That happened faster than we expected. Great. But now what? Now why? Now why am I doing this? Right? So I think it's something that, and we tend to, like, we talk about this all the time, but like, you have to do the gap in the gain, you got to look back and look forward and all of those things. But like, really taking the time to recognize when you've achieved the things that you're looking to achieve, and then kind of what we're doing right now is this recalibrating, resetting, whatever we're doing, and looking at those things again, right? So now I'm like, okay, cool, now what is my next why, what is my next why, right? And I'm still like defining what that is, because I like to have and not everybody has to do this, but I like to have a really defined goal and why. And so I think this is something that is so important for us to do, like, on the regular. Like, it needs to be something you're doing. I don't know. What do you think? Yearly, quarterly, whatever you feel like you need it.
Quarterly, biannually. I feel like the back to school, I feel like there's 2 times a year that very naturally feel like a time to reflect on these things, and it's beginning of the school year and the beginning of the year. Which they're not that far apart from each other,
Not that far
those
apart.
2 times, but that it does really feel like that. And maybe it's as like the back to school is like really as we're entering quarter 4, and that's when I really start to think about Q1 and next
Hmm.
year. And so we're
Yeah.
kind of like easing into that today. But yeah, this is something that needs revisiting because life changes too.
Yeah.
Like my why right now is that I want the freedom to do what I want to do with my kids. I want the
Yeah.
ability to go help my parents if my parents need help. Like I want the ability to like not physically be somewhere if I don't have to physically be
Hmm.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to physically be somewhere. I want to be able to do my work wherever I am. I want to bring in a healthy income that gives me the financial freedom like you talked about to also be able to do those
Yeah.
things. Like, what do the kids needs? Do the kids want to do travel sports because they fell in love with something? Like, I want to be able to do that without stress. I want to be able to take my family on vacation multiple times a year to
Hmm.
get away from all of this. Like, I want those things. So that's kind of my current why. So,
Yeah.
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 So
By
one,
the way,
refresh your
talking.
why.
Okay, I know we're trying to stay on topic here, but can we talk just a tiny bit about the
Of
kids'
course.
sports, because it is really intense. And anybody who is doing that right now, like, I'm just giving you a big hug, because we are in the middle. I have 3 kids. We're doing 4 sports this fall season. And Everett is trying out for club basketball right now. And he tried out for club baseball like in July. And it just feels like a shit ton of stuff. And just a side note, these things are really intense, and I have never felt so stressed out about something. Like, I think I'm more stressed out about it than he is. He has a tryout right now, and it is a 3 round of cuts ball team tryout. And it is insane. Like, can you imagine this is a 10-year-old and like they're going through 3 rounds of cuts for a fifth grade basketball team? Anyway, I digress. But shout out and love to the sports
Sport
parents right
parents.
now.
Yeah, we're
Fuck,
in this
man.
really great little break. between things. We did swimming over summer, which was very low commitment, like punch pass to practice. And then soccer starts next. And soccer's like 5 practices a week, one of which I will coach, four that I need to get my kids to, and then 3 games on Saturdays. And it's rec, so it's easy. Like we're still nobody's showing enough enthusiasm towards any one thing yet to like fully commit. So we're gonna ride this out as long as we
I
can.
think I agree. And I think where we're trying to figure out, like, we don't want to limit him right now to one sport, but also like,
Mhm.
bro, he wanted to try to play 3 sports this fall, and I had to say no because
Yeah,
3 is too
yeah, you
many.
do. Mhm.
Anyway,
Yep,
okay.
that's an important lesson. Okay. So, number 2, redefine
There
your
too.
who. So we've refreshed our why, now we're redefining our who. So, once you know your why, then you get to ask, who do I actually want to do it for? And I don't want the answer to
Mm.
be anyone who will hire me. And so, like, who are the people you genuinely want to work for? So, I have given this a lot of thought because when you own a
Okay.
business, when you are in real estate specifically, a
Hmm.
lot of pressure to like show up on social media as this person. And like,
Hmm.
how are you going to expand your sphere? How are you going to be found by your next clients? Like, where's the next business coming from? And what I know is I don't want to work with a stranger. I just don't.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
I
Okay.
I don't. I don't want to work with someone that hasn't heard of me outside of like the Google
Oh, yeah.
reviews and the social media. Like I want a referral from someone because you are going to know me, like me, trust me. Or I want you to have heard this podcast, or I want you to have been like a
Right.
casual acquaintance that has gotten to see who I actually am because you're going to walk into that relationship trusting me in a different way than a stranger who doesn't know anything about me. I don't want to work with a stranger. I also don't know if that stranger is crazy. Like the fact that I have to have an app on my phone called Forewarn where I have to put in a phone number and
Hmm.
see if this person is legitimately a human or if this person is a murderer who's just trying to lure me to a vacant house to fucking kill me. I I don't like that. That doesn't feel good to me. That feels wrong to me. I want to do business through word of mouth. That is what I want. I want word of
So
mouth
that is
referrals.
very interesting and very good, and I love that. I love an Instagram lead because I love being on Instagram. That
Mhm.
is how, and I do think the people that choose to work with me through those leads, because of how I have built my Instagram and because I like being on there and because that's what
Mhm.
because that's what I put a lot of time and energy and attention into and have very strategically built over the last 4 years. I love working with those people because they chose me based on what they see and what I put out there. I also put a lot of
Okay.
myself out there.
I agree with that. I don't find a person that's been following you and interacting with you on social media a stranger. I think those
Okay,
people are
fair.
my friends. I think what I'm more
Those are
referring
your
to
parasocial
is
friends.
those are my parasocial relationships that I
Yeah,
am very much
those are my
invested
friends
in.
too.
Feel
Like a
and
cold call.
here's
You
what it
don't want
is.
somebody to say, like,
A
I found
cold
you on
call.
Google.
I found you on Google, or now Compass has this thing where they're sending us leads, Compass leads that we can
Mm,
be, and it's like
no, I don't. I don't
the
want those
sales
usually.
funnel from a cold lead is
Mm-mm.
fucking lame. I'm not interested in it. I think
No.
my social media, I'm posting to it. I believe in it. I think that,
Yeah.
and I think this is kind of defining what your social media is supposed to be doing for you. My definition
Yeah.
is it is a place for evidence. It is a place to
Hmm.
remain top of mind to people. I don't think I'm necessarily being discovered on there by strangers, definitely realtors, which tons of my business comes from realtor to realtor referral. So I'm
Hmm.
happy with that. But it is, I kind of do feel like I'm using my personal Instagram to just be out loud with me. I do very little real estate posts on there. Maybe like one in every 10 things will reference my real estate. My real estate page is a lot of real estate, not as much personal as it used to be. Agents love that. And my sphere likes like it's a blend that's working for me, I think, kind of right now. I don't know, maybe
Well,
it's
it
not working
just,
for me. Maybe it could work better, but
I
basically I don't
mean, I
want to
think it
get
just,
murdered.
yeah, I don't
Define
mean,
your who.
I not like to define your who, not a murderer. Okay. Let's be really clear on that. Not a creep. Yeah, I've been very lucky in that. I've had really some people don't pan out, like it's fine, right? Or whatever.
Right.
But I think when you do have something like that, like again, if we go back to systems, like you have to have a really clear system of how you're vetting that person too. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
meet anybody in person the first time. I meet them on a Zoom, like on a Zoom always first.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I like a Zoom. I will sometimes do a phone call, but I like a Zoom or a Google Meet better than a phone call because I want to see that person's face and I want them to see my face. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to see their body language. I want to see how they react. I want them to see how I act. So I think anyway, I am with you on this defining the who. I think it's really, really important when we're creating our businesses to really define who we want to serve and who we want to work with. And then don't work with the people that you don't want to work with. I mean, I will die on this hill. Like I will ask every business owner I meet with, because I get meet with a lot of people ask to meet with me all the time and talk about their businesses. And I'm like, who's your ideal client? And they'll be like, oh, I don't know. Everybody. I'm like, nah, man. Like, who is it? Who very specifically is it? How old are they? What are they? Where do they shop? What do they do? Where are they going? What do they look? Like not what do they look like, but like where are they looking? Like where are they going? What are they doing? Sometimes I'll tell people to give them a name, right? Give it a persona, because otherwise you're going to start working with a bunch of people you don't like, and they're not going to always like you. And then you're setting yourself up for situations that are not great, to be very honest, when we're not the right fit for each other.
Right. Yeah. Your tribe will be your vibe. Your vibe will bring your
Mhm.
tribe.
Yes. And I very
Okay.
adamantly only want to work with people that want to work with me. They don't want to
Same.
work with me. I
Because I
don't want
want
to
them
work with them.
happy, and I want to be happy. I want to be happy. I
Yes.
think that the shift where I am right now is a lot more like away from like I just want
Making
business to
others
like I
happy.
want the right business. I want the right business
Mhm.
for
We hope you enjoyed part one of this discussion. We'll see you next week when we wrap it up with part two.